Hello, everybody. This is Miss Susie from the Manitowoc Public Library, and we are here today again looking at apps for kids. Today we're going to look at an app that is for older children. It's called Attributes by Math Doodles, and this app is very great at working on problem-solving skills and thinking, doing process of elimination. So it's math, but it's challenges, and there's actually no numbers involved in this app, but it is well worth the money. This one runs $2.99 in the App Store. There are various ways you can play this, so I'm just going to explore a couple of them very quickly, and then hopefully you will have fun with it and want to work on this one yourself. So we're going to start with category stack. So in this one, as you can see, you're looking at the different columns, and we'll just click on do it. On the bottom, it shows you the attribute that you have to have in each column. So in this one, the bottom row shows us we need circles in the far left, the middle column needs to be trapezoids, and the third column needs to be squares. And you're just manipulating the items however you need to in order to get them where they belong. Whoops. So I need to get them in the right stack. And then when you do, you earn points. Okay. On the right hand side, up on the top, you have the different solving modes and the levels. So I'm just going to reset it so I can show you that. So on these right hand bottom corners, I can change the items that I'm using to manipulate. So you can change it to whatever appeals to you, if you like coffee cups or shapes or whatever is exciting for you to be manipulating. And then in the middle, you can change it to a race, so it can be a timed thing that you can use for solving. And then the far right is the different level. As you can see, the higher the level, the more challenging it is. So changing the levels will give you much more difficult items to do. All right, let's go back to the main menu. So that was the stack. The combo table, this one is looking at items and finding out what's the same or different about them. And as you can see, we're on level 3 here. We're in the solving mode, and it's just a random set of items. But across the top, the first column is filled in. The second and fourth columns have question marks. So you have to, by process of elimination, figure out what the attribute is that's being looked for in those columns. Same thing along the side here. 2 of the columns have question marks. The other 2 have attributes. So by figuring out which ones fit in the already assigned attributes, you can determine which attributes need to go in the ones in the columns with question marks. So that is the combo table. Find it is the same kind of idea. So in this one, we're eliminating attributes again as well. We'll just click on this one so you can see this one. So the game itself is clicking on some things to help you determine what attributes are needed or not needed. The farther you go, the less they give you. You just have to figure them out. So if you look at the ones that were crossed off, we know we can determine what it isn't, what attributes are not being looked for, in order to determine which attributes we do need to find. So the one that's colored right now on the top column in the center has 1 green and 1 crossed off. So we know that this type of wing that's in the top column along the top line, that's the kind of wing we need. But we don't need the middle column going down that kind of face. So we can eliminate the middle column because we know that is not one of the attributes. All right, so you just have to work on process of elimination on this one. It's kind of an interesting way to do a solving of a math idea. Then in the pattern sequence, it's analyzing. So in this particular one, I'm just going to click on play so you can see this one. We're actually looking at 2 different kinds of patterns. So in the center of the circle, you can see it's a purple-orange pattern. And then right below it, there's actually another pattern. So it's an A pattern and a B pattern. The B pattern is a 1, 2, 3 pattern. So it's a square, then a hexagon, and a circle. So you have to determine the purple orange, and then you have to determine the shape. So those are two different patterns that you're doing to finish out the circle. So it can get quite interesting to complete one of those. So analyzing the different types of patterns. The Venn diagram, you're looking for what's the same and what's not. And we'll click on that so you can see a sample. So by looking at the ones they've already put there, we can determine which attributes are the same. So if you look at the squares that are in there, the one inside the Venn diagram has both the circle on the side and the square on the side, the orange circle and the blue square. So this one in A doesn't work because it doesn't have the blue square, and this one over here in B doesn't work because it doesn't have the orange circle. And the one on the bottom, notice, that one doesn't work because it doesn't have any properties that fit in either one of the circles or in the center part. And again, notice they put ratios there. So in the A circle, I've got one of the three that fits in there. In the center Venn part, I've only got one out of the three. In the blue, I've only got one out of the three. So then you're going to drop and drag these to determine what needs to go in the next part. Okay, so the Venn diagrams, really great visuals on these. It works wonderfully well. And then of course you've got the double traits and the if-else sorting. So great ways to increase math concepts by looking at attributes, looking at patterning, looking at sequencing, doing process of elimination. See, these are all concepts that are important to doing math skills, but they also work really great for just world skills, day-to-day living skills, being able to think in a logical way, being able to find out what's the same, what's different when you're doing any kind of problem solving. So Math Attributes by Math Doodles, it's a wonderful app. Give it a try. Again, it runs $2.99 in the store. Well worth the money for this one. This has been Miss Susie at Manitowoc Public Library with Apps for Kids. Thanks for joining me.